Alright, welcome back to me talking about the Nazi death camps. Right now we have a Nazi guard. This right here is the bayonet to a Mauser 8mm semi-automatic rifle, which is the most commonly used rifle in the whole of World War II. This right here is one of the exact replicas gas masks from the gas chambers that the Nazis killed millions of people with. Alright. So, back on topic. I will be talking to you about the Nazi death camps and what they did, who they targeted, how they killed them, and the experiments that they did on the fellow inmates. The Nazi death camps were a huge staple of Nazi control and power. The first concentration camp opened from the Nazi reign was in March 1933, before the start of World War II. In total, the Nazis opened a huge system of death camps, over 40,000 stretched across Europe, from the French-Spanish borders to the Soviet-conquered territories. Some camps even went all the way to Greece and northern parts of Africa. These camps were purely put in place for workers. Well, they were mainly slaves, but they were known as workers. The camp's sole purpose was for slaves or workers to make supplies for the German army, and they were killed. Majority of them were either served or killed. The main targeting region for the Nazis were the Jewish. Most Jewish people were either sent to a death camp or murdered. Large quantities of Jewish people were arrested for their ethnicity, sexuality, political affiliation, or their looks. Most of, or if not all, of the prisoners were Jewish and were subject to gruesome and unimaginable terrors and experiments done to them. Some weren't fed or only given salt water to see the effects on their body. Some were beaten, shot, electrified. Even women were tested. Even babies that women produced were tested. The pregnant ones were affected significantly. All of the prisoners inside were subject to these horrific experiments. On arrival in Auschwitz-Birkenau, prisoners were granted with a code or a patch given to them at the start of the entrance of the camps. So they would get a patch on the side of their arm, and that would dictate what they were in there for and who they were, what ethnicity they were. Now, the camps were used for purely to gain an advantage over anything. The inmates were subject to the most horrific and terrifying form of, form of torture, I guess you could say. The experiments inside were the most horrific things we've seen today. Some were set 64,000 feet in the air and then dropped to see if it was a good altitude for the German soldiers to leave at. Some were just fed salt water for 30 days to see how long they would survive. Some were fed, or not fed, but some were injected with drugs or different kinds of bodily harming fluids, like chloroform. The pregnant women, they would try and test out the baby, especially if they had twins. There were experiments where they would stab the twin and see the other one, and if the other one reacted to the other one's pain, they would change bones with people. Sounds horrific, doesn't it? The Nazi death camps were the most efficient way of getting rid of the Jewish and any other affiliates that they needed. The Jewish death camps killed over 7 million Jews, and it's said to be more. They cremated them, they burnt them, and they blew up everything at the end of World War II, just so they could get rid of evidence and the staple of what they've done. These Jewish death camps were severely a large portion of the Nazis' reign. Hitler ordered many doctors to conduct electricity experiments on them, or different kind of experiments, just like beating them and seeing how long they would survive, or letting them stay awake for X amount of time, or letting them not blink. The experiments were truly terrifying. The camps worked very, very efficiently, as a fact that there was over 40,000 of them, and in every single one of them, people were dying every minute. The camps ended at the end of World War II when everything was liberated and set free, which is the Auschwitz-Birkenau entrance. It says "Work will set you free" at the top. Thank you for watching my modern history assignment, and this is what the Nazis would wear as their reign with Hitler. Don't not take offense to this in any way. I'm clearly doing this for demonstrational purpose only. Thank you guys.